Woo! Hello, Facebookers and YouTubers. If you're joining me this Sunday, the 6th of the third month, which is the month that we end 2022 first quarter with, which is important in terms of us checking on what the goals and the budgets are. If you're joining me on YouTube, you're on the Iconic Advisor channel. If you're on Facebook, you may be joining me from the Financial Advisor page or Shernette Higgins Clark page. Wherever you are, welcome, welcome one and all. And for those of you who have been supporting over the months, I appreciate you. For those who have subscribed to the YouTube channel, thank you. And I want you to encourage your friends and your family to join. We're coming with some new stuff, some practical stuff in terms of us coping with price increase. And that is one of the topics today. I hope for those of you who are business owners or persons who need to file their taxes at the end of the financial year, which the deadline on or before March 15. Don't wait on it to see if there's going to be an extension because there are penalties, and we'll be divulging into that a little bit more next week. I'll be bringing someone on to speak to us regarding taxes. So I don't want to get into that too much. No, for those of you who know me personally know that I have some side gigs, and one of them is MC various events. So I may travel out of town from time to time. So I do weddings, I do awards functions, I do concerts, yeah, you name it, corporate events. So MC extraordinaire. And of course, as I said before, traveling out of town is a regular thing for me. Now, you want to make sure that when you're making choices where traveling is concerned, it is beneficial. It's going to be economical also. And I wanted to point out some things that I have discovered. And as I said before, that's the basis of how the channel is going to be forming practical stuff that are going to be helping you, whether prospects, suspects, clients, friends, acquaintances, whoever you are, that there will be price comparison done here. So we're going to be taking the channel on the outside, and then each month we have someone live in the studio to interview. Now, I want to focus on the gas prices, the increase. It can be home and it can be car. Now, anybody know you have to know what type of fuel you use, and for me it's a 90, and we're all already at 265.67 Jamaican dollars. I think I've been doing some comparison up from the 17th of February to the 3rd of March, which was just 3 days ago. And the prices, and I'm comparing the 90, as I said before, just being a little biased with those prices because that's the one I use. On February 17, we were at 185,991. The 24th, 185.66. So it dipped just a little bit. And March 3rd, we were looking at 187.42. No, we're already at 201 for some, 223 for some gas stations. And that's another thing I want to share with you, that you have to find a place that is economical where your pocket is concerned. And you have to make sure that it's also good gas, that you're not buying cheap gas and then in no time you drive around town that it's fade away, blow it like paper. It's like you get fumes instead of fuel. So you want to make sure that it's economical in terms of quality and quantity. Now, as I said before, I went out of town last week, Saturday it was. Did a wedding, and it was in Ocho Rios. Just as you come off the roundabout, beautiful atmosphere at the Laughing Waters, recommend that place to anybody. It's beautiful, magnificent. And I fill the tank in Portmore at the Total gas station. I normally fill up there. I normally get my receipts. Um, but this time I went to another gas station on the ferry just to test them out a bit in terms of customer service, what type of receipt they issue, prices. So I was doing some comparison. Now, I bought the gas on the ferry the morning of Saturday, and I came home, got dressed for the wedding, and traveled down to Ocho Rios. And after the wedding, I left there about a minute, 7 p.m. And is when I got to the toll Angels that my needle, well, I don't have a needle, I have more of a digital effect, moved to a little, well, I'd say more over of a 3/4 tank. And I was amazed because I used the AC going. I was in the car for a little bit because I got to the wedding on time. So of course you're cooling down and titivating up your face, making sure everything is right, going over your notes. So I was in the car for a little bit. So the car kept running. And after leaving the wedding, again AC, and as I said before, a little bit over 3/4 tank. Now, the week following, which was would have been this week, ending, I ended traveling to Kingston every day except for Wednesday, which was Ash Wednesday. I went out for a little bit on Wednesday, which was in Portmore. I didn't exit Portmore at all. It was just for a little bit. So apart from Wednesday, I was in Kingston every morning, and I was in traffic, and yeah, up to Friday, up to just now. Well, I can say for now, for Sunday. So I filled up last week, Saturday, and to date, I have not put any more fuel in the car since that date. Yeah, I haven't gone back to the gas station, and I'm a little, well, I am above the E in terms of where the digital effect is or the needle. So I'm not at quarter tank. I was at quarter tank up to Friday, and I'm down now. I went to Old Harbor Road today, and I'm trying to remember where else have I ventured further out. So I went to Old Harbor Road today, and in and around Portmore. Except I didn't go to Kingston on Friday, right? So I went to, yes, and yesterday I did a little bit of driving, just a bit, and today I did a lot of driving in Portmore, including Old Harbor Road, and it's a little bit above quarter tank. So again, what I realize is that when I fill up at the pump, that it's more economical in terms of usage. And apart from filling up at the tank, guys, you have to know how to navigate the system now. Now, if it is that you have assignments or anything to do, or shopping, or whatever it is you're commuting, and you know exactly where you're going, what I do, I plot out the places that I'm going. So if I know I have something to do downtown, if it is when I'm going, I make sure that everything that I have assigned downtown, South Camp Road, everything that I have to do in that vicinity, I'm going to travel in a circle. I must not pass that area again. And I'm going to be using the ferry to come home, or vice versa. If I have more things to do on this end, then I travel in a circle. And if I can avoid the toll, I do. Speaking about the toll now, in my mind, I was saving if I avoid the toll, because the toll is what, $2.90 now, going into Kingston and coming back into Portmore. It is not practical all the time, and some of you may say, how could I have thought that? But yeah, sometimes your mind conjure up things that you think may be true. What I realize is when I go through the toll in the mornings, I spend less time on the road. I also reach on time for whatever appointments, whether it's school or clients. When I do the ferry early in the morning, and I'm telling you that I'm leaving my home from like 6:30 or 6:40, when I get to Washington Boulevard, Constant Spring Road, West Kings House Road, those areas are jammed. I mean, traffic is horrible, you're miserable, you're late. And I remember one day in particular, well, it happened twice. that I left Kingston 6:30 and my destination on Hope Road, I got there for 9 a.m. So I spent basically 2.5 hours in traffic when I could have taken the toll, spent 290 and reach my destination on time and spend less time on the road. So you have to decide, because I'm sure that 2.5 hours that I used up more fuel in terms of AC and traveling, because you're moving, traffic is holding you there, you're still running the car, the engine is still running, you're still using fuel. Now, speaking of the toll now, based on some employees' experience, including mine, what my employers have done, they have an agreement with, especially, well, I'm not sure about the new highway, which would be the Otrius leg, but the Highway 2000 leg, I know they have an agreement where, as for me, if I don't use the toll, I don't pay a monthly fee. I don't have to go to the toll station to top up. Whenever it is I go through the toll, it is registered that I've used it. And if I've only gone into the toll 5 times for the month, that's what I'm charged. So I don't have to be going there, pay $4,000 or $6,000 only when I utilize the toll, including the one in Portmore and the one in Maypen, and before you get to Mandeville Lake. So it's a Highway 2000 that it's registered that I use it, and then it comes from my salary. Now, all of that comes from my salary also before tax, because it's withdrawn. So if you know your employers have that benefit, you can engage your employers, or if you're in a company where you think that could be a benefit that would be beneficial to all, then you can suggest it, because I think that they had approached companies to do it. And I didn't know about it until I was conversing with a coworker. She was actually traveling with me, and she asked, why didn't I have it on my car? I told her I was going to do it, and she said that's not the way she was suggesting, and it was shared with me. So for those of you who your companies you may can approach them, as I said before, but for me it works. So if I don't use the toll for the month of February or January, or when school is out, or whenever it is I don't have anything on that side to do, I pay nothing for toll. We have to learn coping mechanism, guys, in this time and in this period, because prices are increasing when it comes to our grocery, fuel, taxi fare, bus fare. Erica, you might say you don't drive, you take the bus, but everything is increasing. What I normally spend at the supermarket that would $15,000 would have covered, it's not covering that anymore. It is doubling, and for some cases, triple. That sometimes I am so scared, and my way of coping with that is making sure that I enter the supermarket with cash, so I stick to my budget. Once I swipe my card, I'm going to go over budget. So you have to find ways, and some of the suggestions that are made here, if they work for you, I encourage you to share them and to try them. If what you're doing is not also working, make sure you try something else, because doing the same thing over and over and expecting this different result, I don't have to tell you the outcome of that. For those of you who have, whether it is a salary increase, or you have gotten promoted at work and your salary has increased, you want to make sure that you're not spending more in terms of inflated stuff, whether it is a bigger house, a bigger car, or going out more, or more clothes, more shoes, namely name brands. You want to make sure that that excess money that you weren't earning before, that you were coping without, that you're putting it in some investments and some savings. When it comes to the bank savings, you all know I spoke about that last week based on the last report. You're only getting 0.41% on your savings. So if you want to attract more, then you have to think about some other investments, IPOs, APOs that are coming out. Guys, you want to make sure that all of what you're earning, that you're investing and saving more, you're keeping more of that money. That money is working for you. So I encourage you that some of the suggestions that are made here in terms of budgeting, in terms of coping, and guys, be realistic about your income. Nobody no need to pretend, because we're all going through it. I'm going through it. and you want to make sure that if they're children, if they're dependents, that you're investing in terms of their education fund. So if it is that at the end of the month you have nothing left or just enough to go back to work, make sure that majority of that went into savings and some investment. You guys know when I'm alone, that is about 15 to 20 minutes. I was about 3 minutes late. We're 19 minutes after the hour. Don't want to be, up in your face all afternoon. I know we all got something to do, and I do appreciate you spending the time with me this and every Sunday at 4 p.m. Like I said, even if I'm not on here live, that videos will be uploaded with stuff for you to learn from, and recommendations will be made. I want to remind the persons who are registered on the Fisheries Authority and on the RADA that the AgriCare insurance is open again from March 1st. For those of you who are interested, so those are the farmers, the fisher folks, persons that fall under that category. It includes health insurance, very affordable, life insurance, critical illness, and personal accident in a package. And you can also choose from those suite of products that are listed there based on your affordability. It goes up to 875, no medical required. It can't get better than that. So jump on it. And for those of you who are waiting on the school companion, well, that is at the end of the school year that we will have it. Parents, I encourage you to get it for your children. And for those of you who are considering to reduce your insurance and your critical illness, now is not the time. See what you can juggle around. Don't close it. Reduce it instead to what you can afford. And for those of you who understand what that means, for those of you who have nothing as it relates to insurance, whether life, health, your critical illness coverage, your pension, and some form of investment, hello at your girl Shirley Clark, the iconic advisor, Icon Insurance with a Z on Instagram. Thank you once again for joining me. Stay strong, stay focused, and stay safe, guys. Remember to walk good and keep doing good. Love you guys. Love up your friends and your neighbors. We're going through a lot, but keep your head up, keep your chin up. It's all will be well.